Hello everyone and welcome to Racing League Cup then, the 9th round of the season. Today we are in the hills of the Austrian circuit now as we're riding on board with Short, and I'd like to welcome everyone who's watching the stream. And today we've got 15 competitors. I'm Spaghetti Chips, whatever you want to call me. I'm your commentator today, and we're looking for a pretty good attendance so far today. 15 people today, so hopefully some very good battling. We saw from the likes of F1 and F3 last night that battling will happen with whatever number you have on track, because of DRS around here is quite powerful to say the least, especially going up into turn 3 and up the main straight then. So at the moment we're seeing Short on a lap right now. Short came up from F3 a few weeks ago, and Panther Rose has left the session sadly, as Prince going to set the fast lap so far the first lap, and now all the times are tumbling in as loads of people are setting their laps now. Black Mamba coming round, not Black Mamba, sorry, Short coming around the final corner now, and he's going to go up into P3 with a 105.9. Times around here we should be looking for around a high to mid 104, as up to that probably mid 104 status on, let's hope that, yeah, that's on the soft compound tyres. Strategies tonight: soft to hard, medium to hard, whatever you want. It's going to be either soft to hard, soft to medium, or medium to hard. It's going to be one of those three. It's going to be a one stop for everyone who does not get any damage at all. It's something that I did not experience last night, as I had a bit of a collision. But anyway, at the moment we need to just have a look at some laps, and who will be the next person out on a lap. I believe Nika is Goldie on a lap. Goldie's probably on a lap, as is he. We need to have a look at telemetry. Telemetry will tell us a story. Yes, he is on a flying lap. Is Goldie RGG coming now down into turn number 4. It's quite a late breaker as you're going downhill, breaking down at about 90 meters, getting the best turn in possible, getting the best exit as well out of there to put yourself in to the best shot through sector 2. The two left-handers for the little right, and then into sector number 3. Right now we go, he's 3 seconds up at his lap time, so we're looking at probably a 108, 107 for Goldie on the mediums here. So we're expecting good things tonight, as he's not probably gone as close to the apex that we would have wanted to see, as he may have just invalidated his lap there. Up to line he comes. He actually does go valid with a 106 dead to beat Prince Killer. Prince Killer being one of the most consistently fast people in quali. Let's run on board with Nika, who's starting a lap now. Nika not having the best season compared to last. Nika was always around 4th or 5th last season. Sadly, his points tallies haven't been as great this season. Then breaking down, and it doesn't look like he's on a push lap right now, as he's only in ERS mode number 2. Skies is on a push lap though, 5 hot lap mode, 5 ERS, whatever you want to call it. Let's have a look if he can get round in time. It looks like he may have backed off. He has backed off his lap though. Greatness, his first debut race here. A 105.1 for him so far. Good lap from the new guy. Obviously looking like it's almost a George Russell inspired helmet. I believe he does have red on the top of his, as we now see almost like a train coming through here, as Wesley and Veenstra are having a bit of the slippy stream, as Wesley's trying to improve, as Panther Rose has joined the session once again, which is nice to see. Getting another invite and breaking now. Down into the next few corners is Wesley. Wesley for a second there had his throttle with his brake at the same time. Obviously that's not how you do it, Wesley. I think you're going to have to check yourself about that, as a few people still have not set any lap times due to a variety of reasons then. But let's run on board with Veenstra. He's actually not set a valid lap yet, and it doesn't look like he may have done a lot of practice, as his valid laps are very few and in between at the moment. As we come around the final sector now for the Haas driver. Obviously Rich Energy Haas, whatever you want to say. Welcome everyone who's joined the stream. Veenstra coming around the final few corners now. Looks like he's run wide there. That may be an invalidated lap, and that could be very well another invalidated lap up to the line. And it's another invalidation, so he's going to have to go once again for another lap. He's getting these laps and he's run wide once again. He just needs to make sure he gets his track limits right. Track limits and penalties are a real big thing around here. So running wide at the final 2 corners, and also turn number 1 is very easy to do. So we're now running ball with Greatness, who is on a outlap as Aero Specialist has now left the session. Hopefully he can get back in as Vinstra has been let past by Greatness. Hopefully everyone does rejoin the session. There's Goldie's in the pits. Prince is on a lap. No, he's not. He's not on a lap, as it looks like he has backed off that lap. And he's going to go once again on the softs. We'll go to the fitted tyres for these lot, as Goldie, Nicker and Vinstra are the only people on the mediums. Everyone else is on the soft compound tyres to set the best laps they can, as Aero Specialist has rejoined the session, which is good to see. But now Prince is starting us up. We know Prince is always good in quali, so let's have a look at what he can do on these soft tyres. Breaking down now into turn number 1, turning in about 30 metres, maybe 40 metres around that point. He managed to get a bit of a slipstream from the Ferrari ahead, as yes he does, he gets a bit of a tow from Skyzy ahead, as he looks like he's backed off that lap, and looks like he may have invalidated at turn 1. Then hello to the person who has said something in the chat. I will get to you in a moment, as looks like a few people are just getting ready, as Appy comes out once again, Nicker coming in, and Lord Elephant coming out, and Panther Rose is on a lap at the moment. Let's run ball with her, the only female I believe in RLH, so that's something to name yourself, as she comes down into the next few quarters there. And I'm riding on board with Lord Elephant actually on my phone, as he's starting a lap as well. We'll have a look at that as well, but we just need to check who has commented. Hello Stem, how are you mate? As you got yellows in sector 3, probably other people, someone has spun it on the lap, or someone is slowing down. It looks like, as is now yellows in sector 2 and sector 3, people are slowing down. So now coming through the middle sector for Panther Rose, as she comes through once again, as we're gaining viewers. Let's go. So Panther Rose, as that is Walshaber retiring from the session. I didn't see that at first. So it looks like Walshaber, yes, he has had an error, a fundamental error. And if his lap stays as it is, he's starting on the mediums wherever he goes. Let's have a look at Panther Rose coming up to line now. 105.4 gets her ahead of Walshaber, and Walshaber needs to have a good race ahead, otherwise he won't be doing well with only a 105.7 on the mediums, 1 second off the pace of the likes of Skyzy. Obviously in Canada, I believe, was it last time out? No, it was France last time out, but the time before that, Walshaber got the pole and the win. So he had some expectations, and sadly hasn't met them for the Sport Pace and Racing Point Formula 1 team. As let's have a look at Lord Elephant actually, as he's on some laps at the moment, as Lord is running out of the EOS, as Skyzy has just done a lap that F1 would be proud of, as yeah, you need to stop Skyzy mate. We know this is a pad track and all, but just calm down your pace. That's something you'd see in time trial from me, as Greatness is now starting his lap. He's gone a bit acute into turn number 1. That could be an invalidation, and yes it is, as he's turned his EOS into 0. We know straight away that it's going to be an invalidation, as we can see the EOS level says the saving tyre, saving EOS for another lap. So guys, what prediction today? A few of you are watching out there. You got to favour Skyzy. It's just he's just a bit OP, isn't he? He's like the Foxy dude. As Goldie, I did not even see that. Goldie RGG has just put in a stonker lap. Where has this McLaren pace come from? I want to know, because that's ridiculous. Goldie, where's your pace come from? What the heck? Fair play to you, but you've just... People are now just jumping Walshaber now, and it's just unfair towards him. As you can see, people still not being able to set laps, invalidations and all that kind of stuff. As Invisible now, coming through towards the final sector, towards the final few corners of the racetrack, coming down now into turn number 8, as he pops into the pits, as I believe that is a Red Bull starting a lap. Yes it is, that's Shaw actually starting a lap with a 105.2 with his quickest lap so far. What can he do to improve that? He's gone into EOS mode now. It looks like he may have invalidated at the final corner. Even better, as at the moment, likes of Shaw obviously not on our lap, as we've got a comment but I can't see it in the stream, which is great. I'm just going to blue screen you guys, as we do have a comment, and I can't read it, so, F1, oh, that's Walshabert. Walshabert saying, I'm an idiot. You are. You crashed out, mate, and, watch the end of quali, because this could be something to watch instead of just watching it blank-faced, yourself, as Vinicius still, yeah, he's coming to the pits once again. He looks like he's invalidated once again. Lord Elephant, Aero Specialist, and Invisible not being able to set laps yet. So, coming to a bit of a lull now before people come and set the final laps of the session. One thing about this track though, you can easily, on the lowest fuel, get at least 2-3 laps in. So what these drivers need to do maybe is go for 2 out laps before their flying lap, just to minimise the fuel levels that these guys have to get the best chance of grabbing a position, maybe of pole, of maybe on the front row, or maybe in the top 5, whatever their goals are. I assume for the likes of Nika is to get inside that top 10. For the likes of Panther Rosa will be in that top 5, and the likes of Black Mamba maybe get on that front row. And Goldie will be the only person it looks like at the moment. 3/10 gap to Skyzy. Can he maybe capitalise and maybe beat Skyzy? That would be something, as Austria is a well-renowned pad track. This is where Skyzy and Goldie are well suited. The likes of, I believe, who else is a pad? I'm not really sure. I think most people here are Will, except for Goldie and Skyzy. As loads of people are on slow laps, except for Panther Rose actually, who's apparently 6/10 up on her lap time, up to line, and she goes P3 with a 104.807. As the Walshabert says, I waited for Shaw, who was behind me, so my tyres got really cold. Tried to warm them up by weaving and clipped the grass, which sent my car flying into the wall. Walshabert, you idiot. I want to give a special clap. That is genius plays from Walshabert there. As it looks like Shaw, he's invalidated once again, it looks like. As likes of Wesley are now starting their final lap times. 4 people yet to set a lap time. The likes of Aero Specialist, I don't believe he's actually gone out of the pits. Has he come out of the pits? He hasn't come out of the pits yet. Lord has done an invalidated. Visible's apparently not done a lap, and yeah, look at that. Why is his 108? Why isn't his 108.8 up there? I don't know. Maybe the 107% rule. I don't know. I guess if, say, HRTs were around here, they definitely wouldn't obey to the 107% rule. So their aero is that bad. But let's have a look at Wesley. Wesley's on a flyer. And so is Goldie, actually. Who's further around the lap? Goldie's further around, but he's just run wide out of that corner. He's still pushing, so it looks like he may have not invalidated there. And he isn't pushing anymore, as I've just absolutely jinxed him. As Wesley now coming through. He's 3/10 up on his lap time, but he's going to pull into the pit lane. Does he have time left? Because it's around a 40. It's going to be close for Wesley to get back out. He's going to have about 1:30 left, as everyone now coming out the pits is only Wesley. He's just coming in. So that's going to be close, very close. He's literally going to have to change those tyres in about half a second, hop back out, and then he's on a flyer. So short, fastest second and third exit, but messing up in the first. Oh, that's a shame. By the way, no rain is predicted for the race. Lovely, a dry race, so that means DRS is definitely in the good. So let's have a look at short then. He's got a 29.1 and a 19.7. 29.1 and a 19.7. Nah, Skies is quicker than you in, by 0.4 of a second short. Yeah, 19.7 to short 19. Oh yeah, true. Still, that is a very good final sector time. But now, everyone are now starting their final laps. Likes of Points Color. Let's have a look who's closest to the line. Look at that. That is cheeky from the Ferrari, lads. Very cheeky. And I expect that will be a return favour for Lord Elephant to Skyzy. Skyzy's on an outlap. That is very, very well conjured from the Ferrari lot to give Lord Elephant the best chance of getting a good position out on track. We need to have a look at who is furthest around on a lap right now then. I'm just having a look. It looks like no one's really in that last sector at the moment. Who's closest? It looks like Greatness And he's up by a tenth of a second, so he could get into that 104 barrier. Could he beat Black Mamba? If he gets a good line last sector, this could be it for greatness. Is it going to be great things for the new guy in RLH 2 up to the line? And he does get P5, but that could be removed as Black Mamba is only 3 thousandths quicker as him. Lord Elephant goes into P7, and I expect any second now Skyzy will be coming up behind. Oh no, he's got a lot of people in the way of him. That could really be something not good at all. Invisible still not setting laps. Aero Specialist just not doing anything. Not sure if he's got a quali ban or something, but Veenstra coming through the first corner. That looks like an invalidation from him, as I just saw that's short up into P6, I do believe, with a 104.9. Black Mamba got 2 tenths quicker as well with a 104.7. Prince Killer getting third with a 104.6. What could Goldie do? What could Skyzy? Skyzy's backed off his lap. He won't be improving. Goldie is looking to improve though as he comes through the first sector now. What can Wesley do? Wesley's got to push as well. He's not done a good lap at all, as I've just clicked a name, and that has probably screwed over all my settings. As Appy now coming through. What can Appy do? What can... no, it hasn't bunged with my settings, but Appy's lost it, and there's people ahead of him. That's a Ferrari ahead. That's Lord Elephant. And let's have a look at Appy. Appy now coming through, and that's who's out ahead of him. That is Veenstra, I believe. Veenstra, has he set a lap? He has actually set a lap time now, and that's short as well coming up to the line, I do believe. He's stayed in 6th. What can Wesley do? Wesley needs to improve on his lap time. Is visible closer to the line though. Can he improve on his 105.5? Up to the line for him. He will not improve on his 105.5. Wesley is the next person to cross the line. He doesn't improve. He does improve, but it was invalidated. Black Mamba, is he on a lap? No, he's not. And that is the end of the session. Big shot for Wesley van der Ens, down in 13th with invalidated lap times. But Black Mamba up in P4, P3 Prince, P2 Goldie, and P1 is Mr. Skyzy. Tyre wise, everyone inside the top 10 on those soft compound tyres. Walshaber and Wesley sadly qualifying outside the top 10, but on the wrong compound of tyres. So they do have a fresh new set of softs if they choose it for the race. And so he's now right on board with Black Mamba, who got P4 in that session. Well done. So here we go then through the qualifying results of 2.26 second gap between first and second. Skyzy on pole, Goldie in P2. P3 goes to Prince Killer. Very good and solid quali from the guy who's Mr. Consistent in quali. P4 Black Mamba, P5 Panther Rose, a good quali from her. P6 Short, P7 Greatness, P8 Lord Evan, P9 Invisible, P10 Appy, P11 Veenstra, P12 Walshaber, P13 Wesley, P14 Nicker, and not setting a lap time is Aero Specialist at the back of the grid. So now as we go to Sunday, it's not looking as great as it did on the Saturday. Bit more overcast. It's probably because they've just seen that Boris Johnson has been told off. As they're just a bit sad about that. As I'm not going to bring politics into it, but big up the Bojo. I'm only kidding. But anyway, so everyone is now getting ready with their setups, getting ready with their tyre choices, and getting ready with their fuel, because obviously around here you use a lot of fuel very quickly. So I expect people where they don't really use too much fuel in other races like a certain Monaco, you will be using a lot of fuel around this track, as a lot of it is at full throttle. I'm not sure with the certain facts of how much of it is at full throttle, but I can tell to you right now, a large portion of the track's laps are at full throttle. So guys, if you are watching in the stream, please give the stream a like if you do enjoy my commentary, if you do enjoy the racing in RLH, mainly to make me feel happy, but also it does help the channel out and also the league out quite a lot if you do. But anyway, we're now coming on to the formation lap, as I believe every other league's talked about it so far. F4's formation laps are shocking. As yeah, I think I should just put that in so then other people laugh when they watch the stream back. As looks like Walshaber and Wesley having the race from hell so far. As at the moment everyone is just getting sorted. Looks like this guy's doing quite a slow formation lap around this track, and it's not going to benefit the likes of Wesley or Walshaber any much, as their tyres are just going to absolutely go to shreds, and they're just going to be cold and cold and more cold. So if I can I see their tyres? I can't really see their tyre temps. It would be nice to see, but I can guarantee to you right now they are going down by the second. As we now run aboard with, I believe that's Nika, who's going to be the last person to form up. Skyzy comes around the far of the corner now. He'll be meted by Walshaber and Wesley. People not doing their formation up as they had a bit of contact. But anyway, now everyone is lining up on the grid to start for the Austrian Grand Prix. The crowd is absolutely roaring at this point, as we now see the likes of Nika line up on his grid spot. Then everyone ready on the grid then, as we now come to the start of the race. Then Skyzy on pole, Goldie in second. What will we see here as we go to 3, 4, 5 red lights and the Austrian Grand Prix lights out, and away we go for Formula 2 of Racing League Cup. Skyzy's had an absolutely immense start, as Goldie's not had the best. He's had to cut turn 1 a bit there, as Princekill had a very good sight around turn number 1, and it looks like both passes have maybe had a bit of a ding-dong battle as we come up towards turn number 3 now, as we go past the king of turn 2. Looks like, oh, that's the move for Black Mamba up the side. Oh, there's contact, massive contact, as that's Princekill around hitting his teammate, and Aero Specialist is basically in a car park right now. It's massive contact, and I expect lots of them will be coming into the pits at the end of lap number 1 then. As I'm great. Oh, look at that. That is Wesley trying to go up the upside of Appy there. The two Dutchmen side by side. And who will take that position around the outside? Wesley goes. Is this going to be a dumb move? They're still side by side out of the corner. They're still going for it. They're not finished there. Round the outside he goes, and he's not going to make that move. But on exit, has Nika got that? Nika actually may have that position on Wesley, as he sends it up the inside now of the Dutchman, as Walshaber has been able to take place of that as well, as Wesley has come into the pits at the end of lap 1 as he's had contact with Princekill. Princekill got damaged? No, he doesn't. So the only person to pit is Wesley, and that is just a damn dark thing to add to his collection of the Austrian Grand Prix so far. Meanwhile, the Austrian in here, Black Mamba in P3 at his home Grand Prix so far, as he comes round turn number 3. Obviously, we can already see a bit of a gap forming as Nika and Walshaber are in a battle. Walshaber losing out there, as Nika's been able to gain that position that he did lose. And now Walshaber, we know he's quick around some tracks. He's going to try and send it. No, he isn't down the inside. He's going to stay there. And he's just going to hold on as Nika's run wide out of turn number 4. And that's going to be a perfect slingshot opportunity for Walshaber to go down and round the outside of Nika, and the Guarana Racing driver in GT Sport is down into P10. As looks like a certain Appy ahead ran a bit wide through there, as we now run on board with Skyzy. That gap at the end of lap number 2 is 1.2 seconds. So Goldie is keeping it stable at the moment, as Black Mamba and Goldie have a feeling they may be in a bit of a pairing here as they close up towards Skyzy. DRS now enabled for the drivers. It looks like now, oh, look at that, someone very wide there. That is all the contact between, that is Veenstra and Nika in big contact, and behind them is Panther Rose, who had a terrible start coming down, and Panther, that is very daring from the top as they drive. Almost contact, there is contact there, and it looks like Panther Rose is backed out of that to give Veenstra the position that she Oh, look at that. That could have been 3 wide there, I think. Oh, 3 wide. Down into turn number 4. And they've all sorted each other out. As coming around the next few corners it comes. And Nika and Paparose in a little bit of battle. And Paparose is going on the aggressive down the inside into turn number 5. And Paparose has taken that position as Nika refugees to the gravel. And now the likes of Prince Color just at the back of the pack. He needs to save his EOS. Has he got wing damage? That's what we need to have a look at. I'm looking now. He does not have any wing damage. As now loads of people are setting the fast laps of the racing. As we now see the top 14 coming onto that main straight then. We're still all very close together. The pack separated by 11 seconds. It looks like Paparose is looking up the inside of Wolsberg, but that's not going to be a move for him as she is one wide. And now Aero Specialist in the Racing Point Formula 1 team car has been able to get past with Nika. And look at that, Nika and Prince side by side down into turn number 3. Maybe a switch map move for the Mercedes driver out of turn number 3. They both have DRS, so the effect is neutralised. But Nika has the effect of the slipstream. Round the outside we go. We know down into turn 4. Grip on the outside is very limited. As now, the likes of Nika and Prince need to be very careful about their movements, as they do not want to get any front wing damage, as they're in a train with Veenstra and Appy being the leaders of it, as they now have a 4-second gap to the likes of Invisible, Greatness, Lord Elephant has actually had a very good race so far. And this front train, as we've got yellows in sector 3, that's Invisible round. Invisible is round. I actually can't catch him because the pack is so close together. Invisible in the Renault. He was clearly ahead. Now his tyres are absolutely gone. As now, what happened to Wesley? Oh, he pitted in, he. As Invisible becomes a victim. And now it looks like Black Mamba and Goldie have exchanged positions. But I don't believe that's the end of it for them too. As Goldie round the outside he goes into turn number 4, side by side. Round the outside on the pad. He's going to have better traction. Oh, but Black Mamba has cut him off there. Down into turn number 5 now for these two. As now Goldie down the inside he goes. But it's not over yet until the fat lady says the Black Mamba, the Austrian, on an Austrian circuit with an Austrian team manager. Oh, Goldie's lost it. Goldie's absolute. There's utter carnage. Utter carnage. Shorts in the wall. Black Mamba's in the wall. Goldie's completely lost it. How is that not a safety car? I will never know, as that is massive contact for the 3 of the people involved, and I expect a few people will be coming to the pits. And yes, as I expected, a safety car after that absolutely horrific mistake from Goldie RGG there. And I expect maybe a penalty will maybe come his way, as he's been locked out here by the safety car after his mistake there. The number 21 then coming out of the pits, and that is not how you want to see him. But this is perfect for the likes. Oh, look at that. That's a double stack for the Mercedes crew. But look at this, is perfect for the likes of Invisible and Wesley. So Wesley will actually jump a load of positions here. So Wesley up into coming out around P12, maybe P11, no, P12. So he's up with Goldie and Nika. So Wesley has just been given an absolute card of luck. So now that leads. Oh my god, I didn't even see. It's a Ferrari 1-2. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a look at Lord Elephant's POV in that, because that would have been very interesting to see what he saw, as he's now a lap ahead. So riding on board with Lord, I'm having a look at this on my phone right now. So Lord comes round, they're in a bit of a train, Goldie loses it, and Lord just goes straight for his Black Mamba, slams on the brakes, makes sure he doesn't get in that contact, and Lord just slides through, and it's now a Ferrari 1-2. As Walsberg heads into those pits, as Appy's got a drive-through penalty, which he cannot serve underneath the safety car, so that's going to put him right down to the back of the grid. So an early pit stop now for Walsberg to get himself out onto the hard compound tyres. It'll be interesting to see what tyres everyone goes onto. This could be a fundamental loss for the likes of Skies and Lord Elephant, actually, as they're not making use of the pit stop. So they're hoping that their strategy works, and maybe this could be good for them in the way that they are now saving their tyres, and they've been able to stretch those tyres even longer. So now everyone's just having a bit of a catch up as the field will be spread by a lot. Welcome everyone to the stream. I have a few of them. A few of them won't. I don't know what I was going to say actually. I don't know what I was going to say. A few of them, I have no clue. Sorry guys, but aero specialist apparently in P1 comes into the pits. As now aero specialist comes in, so he's going to lose a lot of time under this. So out of the pits now, as aero specialist now goes down to the. Sorry for the lack of commentary. People obviously being lost in the commentary as I'm just having a look at my socials for a second there. So now, everyone underneath the influence of the safety car. Sound like I was talking about something else when I'm saying under the influence. But anyway, guys, safety car and Invisible and Black Mamba need to catch up quickly. So it's all about tyres around here. So, who has benefited from the safety car here? So, everyone, except, well, Wesley's kind of benefited, but he's going to have to pit again. I'm surprised he hasn't pit again, because this would be perfect for him to catch back up, because he's going to have to push through that field very quickly. So provisionally at the moment, Walshabert would be in P1 right now, but Vinsha's gone and pitted onto the softs as safety car is in this lap. Everyone will be slowing down. Skies is slowed down and Butch is filled up. I expect he's going to accelerate any second now, so he's just waiting and waiting and waiting. When will he go? He's not slowing down that much. He's still going about 90 miles an hour. Hamilton will probably go a bit faster, but now, when's he going to burst out throttle? He's bursting around the final corner, and now it's going to go green for these drivers. And now they pass the safety car line, and now we are green racing as Skysy now comes down into turn 1. Is anyone looking for that move down into turn 1? We see some movement, but it doesn't look like anyone's going to get past. We're still right on board with everyone down the grid, as everyone has caught up, which is good for everyone involved, every party involved. As we come down now into the next few corners, we need to see oh, look at that, that's a move for Appy inside the Prince Killer. That's a dive bomb if I've ever seen one, and that's how you perfect the dive bomb. So Goldie, the cause of that safety car, now needs to gain some positions quickly, breaking now down into the next corner now, around the outside of turn 4 on Prince Killer. They're still in battle. Prince Killer has taken much more of an acute line than Goldie, and Goldie's had to back out of that, as at the moment he's just having to stay close, as the likes of Lord Elephant is only 2 tenths behind his teammate of Skysy, but I have a feeling they're going to be working together to maybe pull a gap. So right on board with Prince Killer now, closest gap between him and a certain Appy ahead. But let's have a look closer up the field. Vinsha on new softs compared to Pamper Rose's old softs. Vinsha completely out of the ERS that lap. He's pushing to the absolute limit, breaking now down into turn number 1 for the Haas driver. He may have a better exit actually than Pamper Rose, obviously due to the grip of these soft compound tyres. No DRS for the first 2 laps. As breaking now down into the next corner for Vinsha, and he's not going to be able to make a move as I'm Greatness. It looked like he got a time penalty of some kind as Wesley up the inside of Nicker. So those two have had a move complete, as that's someone on the grass. That's aero specialist on the grass. Your aerodynamics are not going to be working there. And now M Short's little brother coming around the outside, and last week's podium scorer, I believe in P2, is now down in P12 at the moment. As we see, look at that, loads of battles happening on track right now. Nick and Wesley so close to each other, and Wesley just needs to make sure he pushes, as those tyres will be getting old pretty quickly. One thing about this track though, I can definitely say, is those laps go past very quickly when you're not paying attention to this Prince. As Appy has headed into the pits, he must have some kind of front wing damage, as DRS is now enabled. No, he doesn't. He's got a drive-through penalty to serve. Oh! What's happened to the invisible? Front wing damage? No, he must have spun it. Don't know. Honestly, don't know. But Veenstra close to Panther Rose once again. As these top 5 are in a bit of a DRS train. Wolfsburg trying to catch on to it, trying to latch on and take part in it. And then he can just be dragged along by the likes of Veenstra. He could probably give some Dutch and say, oi Veenstra, get back and help me. Get in that DRS. Thank you very much, mate. As, shall I tell you what Wolfsburg will be saying right now? Get in a battle. Get in a battle. Stop being in the DRS train and fight for your position so I can get involved. That's what Goldie will be saying as well. So Prince Killer, Short and Nicker are exchanging places round the outside. Short goes of Nicker. What a move, as Nicker looks like he may have slattened on the brakes a bit more than he would have wanted. Is now Aero Specialist is on the back of Nicker, and this is where it gets vital. Is look at that Aero Specialist not using his aero to his full capabilities as he's run wide out of the second to last corner. Then all have DRS except for the likes of Wesley and also the likes of Prince Killer, as Wolfsburg has now got in that DRS train of Conan, our basically Mark Hughes Sky Sports. Soft to medium still seems like a viable strategy even with the safety car, but we'll have to wait and see. Veenstra is in a great position right now with the tyres. He is in a great position, but shall I tell you who's in a better position? Wolfsburg in P6. He won't have to pit again. He's on the hards. Those hards may be dying at the end of the race, but I can tell you right now, they are in the perfect position right now to get some for perfect conditions to maybe win this race. Obviously having a very bad quali, but may be able to recover this, as he's got the best strategy. Pit underneath that safety car, as Appy and Invisible are now exchanging positions, as Appy down into the last position on the grid at the moment. Veenstra, meanwhile, the other Ferrari powered car of the Haas is now getting close to the back of Panther Rose, but I saw Iron Greatness there right on the back of Lord Elephant. Lord Elephant is getting pressured as he's now losing track of Skyzy just a tiny bit, as Prince Killer picked up a 3-second time penalty through turn number 1 then. So one thing Greatness is really struggling on is his ERS capability. To up the inside now is Panther Rose, and that could lead Veenstra up the inside now of Panther Rose. This is exactly what Wolfsburg was. We're on the ball with Wolfsburg down into turn number 4. We've got yellow to 1. Appy's out of this Grand Prix. There's contact. Greatness is wide. Whoa, Wolfsburg! Oh, massive contact. 4 cars involved. Oh no! Massive contact. 3 cars round. Panther Rose, Wolfsburg. Oh, Veenstra as well. How is that not a safety car? Massive contact. That was not going well. How are these guys still alive? I will never know. Round the outside now, and there's no safety car. How? As Greatness does come into the pits at the end of the lap. I'm not sure if that's due to wing damage or just tyre life. It looks like it could be wing damage. No safety car somehow. I honestly don't know, as that was a massive collision. Absolutely ridiculously massive. As now there's a gap. Goldie up the inside of no, Prince actually up the inside of Goldie now. As that, look at all these people who's had to change onto another set of tyres. People who's lost out the most. Wolfsburg, as Panther Rose has actually left the session in disgust. She's not happy. She's just that was just waiting to happen. As now the race has really been spread out, and the likes of who's really benefited from this. So Nicker has really benefited. Wesley has as well. But that was a crash and a half. Don't know how we didn't see another safety car there. So we've now seen in 14 laps 2 massive collisions involving at least 3 drivers in this race, as Lord Elephant now comes into the pits. The green and blue helmet. No front wing change for the Ferrari man as he comes out of the pits. Very well timed pits. As he comes out of the pits on the medium, so he'll be able to thrash it around the track. As we just have to see now, wait and see. As Goldie and Prince, this is exactly what they don't want. They don't want to be battling. They want to make sure they can get a gap. And these two are basically the leaders in the moment. These two are the top 2 on the grid if we exclude any single penalty. As it looks like the sun is now coming out on the hills of Austria. As I can just see the sun coming through the clouds as I'm turning into David Attenborough. Lord going for the undercut. The undercut on Skyzy, that is. But these guys probably have it orchestrated absolutely perfectly. Looks like Skyzy will be coming to the pits at the end of this lap as his ERS is in mode 0. So what can Skyzy do then? What can this Ferrari boy do? But coming down into the pits now, 34, 35 miles an hour coming into the pits, making sure he didn't get any kind of stuff, any kind of penalty into the pits then. So now, will Lord be out of the pits first? It's going to be, I think Skyzy's got this by a little bit of a margin. You see Lord coming around the final corner now. Skyzy now being able to thrash it. Lord coming through now. This is going to be closer than you think actually. Skyzy's going to have a worse exit than Lord. This is going to be super close. As Lord's going to, he won't have DRS actually. As that may have been orchestrated perfectly for Ferrari, and Ferrari may have actually done good tactics here. As Lord does not get past Skyzy. Vinci setting the force up at the race with a 107.8, but on the soft compound tyres. So these guys now, it's a battle of the tyre strategies. You got the front three going soft to hard. Then you got Wesley going soft medium, but he may have to pit again, and that'll probably be back onto the soft. So it will be very quick at the end of the race. Then you got Black Mamba and Nika. Then how far away from the leaders are they? They are 13 seconds away from the leaders on the mediums. So over the next 20 laps, they need to gain around 7-8 tenths a lap, and the Ferraris are still within a small chance. They've stuck with the strategy. The Ferraris look good around here. They look like they could do some stuff. They really can't fight each other. They want to get more positions in this race. Exactly. I think the Ferraris here, they're going to be working off each other. We know who's got more pace out of the two. We know Skyzy, due to his qualify, he is quicker. So I have a feeling Lord Elephant may just sit in the DRS of Skyzy, and Skyzy will just tow Lord along here as Lord Elephant just... they can already almost see the guys ahead, but it's all about these time penalties. As we see another one coming up right now. Black Mamba and Wesley, they don't want to be fighting. They want to just get it done easily. As everyone here now, ahead of Skyzy and Lord Elephant, they just want to be helping each other, because they know that those two will be coming through the pack at an alarming rate. So it's just a fact of getting past them, getting close to them, just making sure that these two just help each other out, get closer to the guys ahead, get closer to short ahead, maybe get a 5-man DRS chain. That's not what you want to be doing, the Austrian around the Austrian track of the Red Bull Ring then. So coming through the first few corners then, Black Mamba close up to the back of Wesley. Black Mamba's at a better exit out of turn 1, DRS into turn number 3 now. Wesley taking a wider line, more grip on the outside there, as Black Mamba's had to sit in behind at the moment. But Lord and Skyzy, they're still in DRS of each other, which is good for the Ferrari constructors' sake. I believe the Ferraris are ahead in the constructors at the moment, so any points is better than none at the moment for these lads. Shall we have a look at fast lap comparisons at the moment between the top and the bottom? It's actually really good for Lord, staying within DRS area and saving battery. Yeah, exactly. But now he's just hopped out of that DRS zone. It's going to be on that edge. He may ask guys to, you know, slow down a bit. Just keep me in your DRS, mate. As
48.8, okay. Battery, this is James, 48.8.
Or maybe it's Skyzy, this is Lord. Can you slow down by about 4 tenths a lap, please, so I can actually stay in your DRS? But no, that's not going to happen. Meanwhile, up at the front, as Skyzy does set the boss up at the Grand Prix with 107.7. Guys at the front, what are they doing? They're doing 109.2. So that is 1.5 seconds a lap. They're 13 seconds. They're now 9 seconds. Is Skyzy behind the leaders? So it's still a very large possibility for Skyzy out front. If he's gaining 1.5 seconds a lap, the possibility of overtaking 1.5, he'll be there in about 7 laps. He'll be there by lap 26. And now Skyzy and Nico are now in battle actually. And Skyzy now coming up this grid then. Where can these guys finish? It will be very interesting to see. Very interesting. What's about? On his own at the moment. Sadly, he could have been fighting for the win, but after that crash, he's only fighting for the remainder of the points then. So now, it's Black Mamba versus Wesley. They need to get this move done quick. They don't want to lose too much time. Coming down to turn 1, they're definitely losing a lot of time as Black Mamba has lost 3 seconds worth of time. Has picked up a bit of a penalty here. But coming down now into turn number 3 as they come through the kink of 2. Coming to the inside now is Black Mamba. He's going to go later on those brakes down into turn number 3. And that is a position gain for Black Mamba's Verstappen. Says this looks very interesting then, as I can certainly agree. Certainly, because Skies is closing. And Goldie and Prince are in this little ding-dong battle actually. This Prince is trying to go around the outside of turn 5 with Goldie here. As I believe last season, one of Goldie's only podium positions, I believe, was around Austria. So this is one of his greater tracks. So these guys just don't want to be fighting at all. As I'm going to have a tiny little break for about 20 seconds. Unless there is a DRS battle here. I'm going to be still at the mic. I'm going to be shouting down the mic if needs be. But down to turn 1 though, Prince Killer cannot get past Goldie. As I'm now shouting, hi. I'm just getting something, guys. Right, can I find it? Can I find it? I can't find it. I still can't find it. I'm having a look at the gap, sorry. Can I see it? Nothing's happened, lovely. Invisible's got a 3-second time penalty though. So that's kind of peak for him. Yellow to sector 3, that's Veenstra out. Veenstra's out. Oh, he's lost it there. How is he? Has he hit the wall on the inside for the pit lane? That's my initial thoughts, is Wesley and Skies are now exchanging positions. He's coming up that grid very quickly. Very, very quickly. Before long, he'll be fighting for that podium. It's only now 5 seconds to a podium for Skies. He's closing so quickly. That win is only plus 6, 7 seconds away from him. He's 5 seconds away from a podium, 7 seconds behind the lead of this race, and then it's just stabilising that. Stabilising all that he can have. As now, we see Optic says Sky's going to run away with this at this rate. He just needs to catch up, make sure he gets past when he needs to, and this could be an absolute runaround for Skysy, as he's had a great race so far. But when will those tyres die off? I think he's had the best of those tyres already, but look at the grip he has compared to Black Mamba ahead. Black Mamba's tyres, 16 laps old. Skysy's only 6 laps old. 10 laps older. But on the mediums compared to the hards, he's going to have more grip. Those mediums are in their prime right now as Lord F finally gets past Nicker down the inside into turn number 4 then. So it's just a battle for the Ferraris to get through the field then. As Skysy now closing up to the back of Black Mamba. What can they do about this? As Skysy now, his EOS is looking good at the moment as he's just getting that slipstream, saving that EOS. He can use it on the straights for a good pass, but he looks like maybe not as gaining as much time as he did a few laps ago. We'll have a look at this lap time compared to Goldie at the end of this lap then. So Skysy's last lap was a, what was it? It was a 108.4. Goldie's last lap was a 109.2. It's only 8 tenths a lap now, so it's slowing down. Gap to lead is only 5 seconds, and that's going to close now as he's now got DRS on a certain Mr. Skies, on the certain Black Mamba does Mr. Skysy. And now in sighting distance is short. That's attacking distance within the next 2 laps. There's Goldie and Prince Color. This is not what they want to be doing. They're fighting as Mr. Skysy is getting closer. They probably don't know this, but Skysy is pushing up to them at an alarming rate. They can only see the people 2-3 positions, 1-2 positions behind them. But little does Goldie know, if he doesn't push on, he is under threat. Goldie, 1 warning. Prince Killer, 1 penalty. Short, 1 penalty. Skysy, 2 warnings. Black Mamba. More warnings than a something, I don't know. But anyway, look at that. Goldie and Prince still battling as Skyzy now comes back and sets our fastest lap of the race now, as he's now closing up to short. And that's a pass made. Now these guys at the front will now see Skyzy. And this is where it gets really interesting, as this is now the battle for the lead. So Goldie now versus Prince versus Skyzy. Skyzy can see the lead. Lord Evans, sadly though, not really having the same pace as Skyzy. 2.3 seconds to that lead. I think my guesstimate, as Vinci has now left the session, my guesstimate of lap 26 is very close actually. But it's just a fact of when will those mediums die? When will the hards die? When is the drop off? All questions to be answered. Shaw could create problems here. He could create a lot of problems. If he just stays within that DRS, he could create problems at the end of the race for Skyzy. If he just keeps up with constant pace. So Skyzy now doesn't have any DRS, any slipstream to get a hold of, even though he's on those mediums. He's gained a second in that last lap. It's just ridiculous, his pace right now. But these two ahead, they do have DRS assistance, but they're not going quick. They're just not, because they're battling each other. And now Skyzy will just be able to say goodbye, have fun down in P2. I'm going to hop back up to where I started in this race. As now with 11 laps to go, Skyzy is looking in a phenomenal position to take the race win. 1.5 seconds is the gap between Goldie. 1.9 between Goldie and Skyzy. 1.3 now between Prince and Skyzy. So it can all happen here. The QVR driver, he is getting very close now. Skyzy is basically the rapper of F2. He's in the same car, and I have to agree with you, but Skyzy's luck, maybe not as lucky as Rapper sometimes, but they both have the same luck in ILR, I can tell you that for free. None is the answer to that. Oh no! Well, that's just destroyed our race. So Skyzy just doesn't need to get a penalty now as he's won this race, as Wesley and Invisible have exchanged positions down the straight. So now Goldie's got that penalty then. Skyzy's now in the net lead. So it's now the fact of how will Skyzy pressure Prince and Goldie to try and get a move done on them. And he's still got 10 laps to go, so there's definitely a high possibility of some kind of... Oh, Wesley's retired from the session. Wesley's gone into... How's he gone into there then? Has Wolsberg got damage? It may have been with Wolsberg, or was it with Invisible? Invisible doesn't have damage, so what the heck happened to Wesley? He's just gone straight on. I have no clue what's happened there. No safety car though. As a time penalty update, please. I will give you a time penalty update in 1 second, but now the top 3 are separated by only 1 second. As let's have a look at the chat. Sky, maybe he should come to F1. That would be interesting. It would be interesting, very interesting. As he'd be about the pace of probably the top 5, like Foxy was told to be last season as well. Prince and... Oh, contact! That could give Skyzy's run. That's given Skyzy the run. That could be the lead. That's the lead for Skyzy. Little contact, and that is just given Skyzy all he needs to go up into P1 and control this race then. He's just been given an absolute present. A present by Prince Keller. Not only 1 position he's gained through that, 2 positions. That is just, the luck from Skyzy there. He's just said, I'm coming in. Prince has just gone, yo, Goldie, get out the way. And now Skyzy and Goldie have just exchanged positions, and Skyzy now in the lead of the race with a time penalty in hand. So now the top 4 time penalty situation. So Short has a penalty. Prince Keller has a penalty. Goldie has a penalty, and Skyzy has still got those 2 warnings. So it's not over till the fat lady sings, as they say, but the tyres on Skyzy's car will be starting to go, but so will the hard tyre runners. So it's just the matter of where can Lord Elephant finish. Obviously, he's not been able to gain as much as Skyzy definitely has. As the gap between them now is around... hang on, it's probably not as much as I think it is. It's actually, no, it's 6 seconds. Quite a lot. But now, what Goldie needs to do is stay within those 0.3 of a second and pressurise Skyzy into a penalty. That's his next call of affairs. P2 is still very good for the McLaren driver, but he's just been stolen P1. Obviously, he was very, 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 when I say very, very lucky with the safety car when he did have that crash. But running more with Lord Elephant now on my on his POV, whatever you want to call it. He's coming around the final corner now. Let's have a look at the difference that I see. So I'm about 5 seconds behind as Lord comes down to turn 1 now, down in 3rd gear. So I now see that now in his, yep, down into 3rd gear. EOS in none for the driver on his display, but we know where the EOS levels are. And it looks like Prince Killer, he's not really interested in that P1. He's more interested in those 18 points for P2. As Goldie's picked up that penalty, breaking now down in to turn number 4 now. And it looks like now Goldie RGG may have just said, you know what, Skyzy, I've had a good battle with you, but now it's my time to defend from a certain Prince Killer who's been pressurising me for way too long, as Walshaber has now got past Invisible. But is this the end of the battle for these two? Coming down into turn number 4. Now it looks like there will be no movement in that, as Wesley said, Invisible, please fix your internet. As I believe it's from the US, if I'm not mistaken. So that may have been the reason why Wesley did DNF. Maybe a bit of a connection issue there. But Prince Killer right on the back of Goldie. He's going to try for it down into turn 1. You're going to lose a lot of time through there, and he has backed out, knowing that if he did go through there, most likely he's going to lose it, and that would not be good. But he's now got a better chance down into turn number 3. He's gone onto the grass actually, as Goldie and Prince side by side down into turn number 3. And now through the next corner they go. They're still side by side. And look at that, Short is coming in on the action. Running over with Short now. He may get a bit of a toe. Down the inside he may go. And he's had to back out of that. But now Goldie has lost that position to Prince. But this, I don't think this is the end at all. These three all on the same amount of penalties. This guy's been able to pull away now. As Prince Killer is now inheriting the 2nd place and those 18 points on the grid. As Goldie looks like a bit of a mess out of that corner, out of turn number 7 into 8 and 9. As Goldie not taking as much curve as Short behind him. Coming onto the main straight now. But one more time, then 5 laps to go in this race. You may as well call it a sprint race at this point. Just think of it as a 5 lap for these guys. That's how long they can have left, and those are the gaps. Now we're seeing 5 lapper gaps here. 2 temps, 4 temps. Down round the outside, Goldie goes. Will that be a move? Oh, Prince has gone deep. That could be short for as well. He's run wide. He's got a 3-second time penalty for that. That's going to inherit Short as well. And also Black Mamba position. Maybe even Lord Elephant round the outside. Short goes. Prince down the inside. That is very, very aggressive from the Toro driver. And that may be a penalty for him if he's not careful, because that was aggressively on the curb. And now Shaw is able to get past Prince Killer, as Prince went for a daring move that he probably shouldn't have gone for. And now with that, another 3-second time penalty, we need to have a look at Black Mamba and Lord Elephant's penalty situation. Black Mamba's got 1 penalty, Lord has got 1 penalty as well. So potentially Black Mamba and Lord could overtake Prince Killer. Prince Killer riding wide has cost him a lot of time here as he's searching for the move. He needs to get past these guys ASAP, as Shaw has run wide. This could give Prince Killer a chance to come back. Shaw is in EOS mode 3, so is Prince Killer coming down into turn number 3. We're all about 3s today, as the gap between Shaw and Goldie is 0.33 seconds. Down into turn number 3 now for these drivers, and it's not looking good for Prince Killer. He's losing more and more time. So Lord Elephant, little does he know, he is in for the podium battle if these guys close up. So Skyzy with that 3-second gap now, as Prince Killer has lost a lot of positions and his front wing. I've missed that on camera. Prince Killer lost his front wing there, and now down he goes into P6. So any doubts about him not finishing on the podium have absolutely gone down the drain. And now coming down with 3 laps to go now. Well, 4 actually. There's 33, 34, 35, 36. There's actually 4 left if you actually count, but I'm bad at counting, so it doesn't count. We go, and at the moment, this is definitely not over for the podium. I can tell you right now, this could be a lot different to what we're seeing right now on our screens. This is turning into a bit of a classic, I may say, as we've had 2 massive incidents. The sun is now shining in the Austrian hills. It's breaking now down into turn number 4 for another time. I think we see a certain Prince Killer's end plate just hanging out at the exit of turn number 4. As now Black Mamba's Greatness has got a penalty. We haven't seen much of Greatness in the second half of the race, as he was involved in that collision, so he could have been way up there, but sadly he wasn't. So now, looking at the front of the grid then, Short, Black Mamba and Goldie, the closest gap at the moment. Then also Greatness close behind Invisible, breaking down into the next few corners and breaking once again. And now up to line for Greatness for another time. I'm looking for gaps at the moment. This is one of the closest as coming down to turn 1. We know Greatness has pace, as he did qualify well. He started the race well, and sadly it just didn't go his way at the moment. The Williams driver, the Rocket driver, I support him because I'm a Rocket as well. Down into the next few corners for Greatness. Will he be able to pull anything great from this? Maybe a better exit than Invisible. He's got that DRS, but not at the moment. We don't see any movement of positions then. So now looking at Short versus Goldie. This could be a battle to have a look at. And now Skyzy's now pulling away indefinitely. 3.4 seconds. I said 4 seconds. I know I'm stupid. So we're now coming round for another lap then. I think we should ride on board with Greatness actually. He's only 3 tenths now behind Invisible. And does Mamba have a pen? Mamba does have a penalty. Don't worry, everyone around you does have a penalty of some kind. As Greatness now is closing up behind Invisible then. Those two getting very close to each other. Greatness may try down into turn 1. He's pulled out of the slipstream very early. We're on lap 35 now, and he's not going to try down into turn 1, but maybe turn 3 is an opportunity, as Invisible has picked up a time penalty in that little battle there. So now coming down towards the kink of turn 2 and turn 3. Greatness is going for the move, and he's going for the great things here, and he's had to pull out that. He's being very kind to the certain Invisible ahead of him. But now down into turn number 4. This could be the move now. Greatness down the inside on the mediums compared to Invisible's hards. And that is a move now for P number 9 and 2 points in this race. So who's got the fastest lap at the moment? It's Mr. Skyzy with a 107.7. So he'll be grabbing 26 points as they now start the final lap of this race then. So now we need to have a look at these gaps. As Short on the final lap has got a penalty. That is going to spruce a lot of things up. I'm not going to check penalties once again, but Short now feels inclined to go up the inside of Goldie. Goldie doesn't have to battle this. He probably doesn't know that Short doesn't have another penalty. So this could involve Black Mamba here. Black Mamba could get past Goldie here. So Short's is ruining Goldie's race here. As now down the inside, Black Mamba tries to go. Goldie round the outside, Short down the inside. And even though Goldie doesn't have to fight this, Short has another penalty. But Goldie is fighting this down the inside. This could be contact. There is wheel banging. Goldie's left Short out to dry. And these three are still in battle. We need to have a look between these two. This is like the Singapore battle on the final lap. But round towards the final few corners. Short round the outside he goes. Will this be a move? It will be a move as Skyzy wins the race. What a move by Short. But after penalties on the final lap, I think Shaw gets demoted a lot of places. As Goldie takes P2, Black Mamba P3, Lord Elephant P4, Shaw P5 in the end, Prince Killer P6. Nika will take P7, and what a final lap that was. With Nika taking the P7, Multiverse taking P8, but P7 after penalties, P8 for Nika, P9 for Greatness, P10 for Greatness actually after penalties, P11 Aero Specialist, and Panther Rose did not do it. But what a move for sure there, around the outside of Goldie. That was absolutely incredible. That move was insane. What a race. Sure, what a move. I'm going to have to relive that moment. So he's just gone up and around the outside. More grip than Goldie. What a move. Fair play to the Red Bull driver. Great final lap of this Grand Prix. And now on the podium, a familiar face climbs to the top step with Skyzy taking the win today. Second today is Goldie around one of his favourite tracks. And third is the Austrian and his home Grand Prix. A well-suited podium for a great race. So the Tifosi will be happy once again. Ferrari winning an F1 and F2. It's just all coming up Millhouse for the Ferrari drivers. Skyzy takes the win today with no penalties in his hands. Then P2 goes to Goldie RGG. P3 is Black Mamba. P4 is Lord Elephant. And P5 goes to M Short. Then P6 is Prince Colors. P7 is Walshabert. P8 is Nika. P9 is Invisible. P10 is I'm Greatness. Had a very good stint, but then the crash happened, obviously. P11, Aero Specialist, and Panther Rose DSC'd from the session. Then Wesley, Beanstra, and Appy were our non-finishers. All, I say all, Dutch. But anyway, the top three today are French, British, and Austrian. So, now I'm going to invite the top three for a podium interview. Familiar faces of Skyzy entering the podium interviews once again. And then we have Goldie, who's actually got a podium interview. Yes! Have I ever interviewed? I think I've interviewed Goldie once. I think. Sometime this season, I think. And then another person. So Goldie and Black Mamba. The lobby host actually for F2. He gave me the lovely invite. Black Mamba. Top three have been invited to the podium interviews. If you have any questions in the chat for the top three, please let me know so then we can get that sorted then. What a race. What a race it was, says Opokonum. What a race it was. I've got to say it was pretty outstanding. Black Mamba now joins the party. We're just going to wait for the other two. Make sure your voice is always allowed just while we are waiting for the other two. So we're just waiting for Skyzy and also a certain Goldie RGG. Goldie now joins. Make sure your voice is always allowed and do not speak, you bloody dare. Just waiting for Skyzy. Skyzy's joined the party as well. Voice is always allowed, just so no awkward pauses. And we shall start the podium interviews with the guy who always seems to come first in this league, and I feel like just needs to be moved up to F1 instantly, as those quali laps are just F1 pace around here. But anyway, is it due to pad? We don't know. But Skyzy, once again, with the win. It was looking uncertain when he made that pit stop, obviously going down a lot of positions, but on those medium tyres compared to everyone else's very old hards, you were able to come through and able to come through the field and take the win today. Obviously gifted 2 positions, first and second, but a little mistake from Prince Killer there. And that gifted you 2 positions, but well done Skyzy once again, taking the top step for the Tifosi. How's that race?
Thanks mate. Yeah, it wasn't an easy one. Obviously the strategy wasn't very smart. I should have pitted, but yeah, I wanted a fun race. That's why I got, so I'm happy with that. And yeah, Prince and Goldie just gave me the P1 back, so thanks to them. But I don't know if you were on my view, but I knew that they were going to collide each other because I braked very early. I almost shut down my GRS mid straight and just let the car through, and they made contact. So yeah, it was like I knew it and it happened. So I'm like a god. Not kidding, but yeah, it was very a good race. I love to battle everyone. I was a bit scared with Lord Elephant behind me in the first lap and after the safety car restart. But yeah, he wasn't too aggressive, so it was all good. And same for Nika, who almost dive bombed me to defend. But yeah, it was fair, I would say. And yeah, a good race, fun one.
Well, yeah, I could definitely say I can vouch for you. That was a very fun race around the Austrian circuit. Then, obviously, very short lap around here. I'm hoping against those laps went quite quickly for you in the cockpit there. Obviously, it probably seemed like to you that once you got past the car, the next car was just there, just like, oh hello, I've just caught up a few seconds. Obviously, setting the fast lap of the race, full 26 points. You can't be too sad about that. Can't be too sad about that.
I think it's my first one. Yeah, I usually not that fast on race pace because I don't really need to push that hard to be where I am. But yeah, it feels good to have the full 26 points, and yeah, pretty happy with the result. Also for the team, Road finally doing good. It's been a while, so yeah, it's a good day for the Ferrari team. And congratulations to Goldie and to Black Member.
Thanks, Matt.
And one more thing to say, obviously that is a very good race from Lord there. I saw a bit of a thing in qualifying where you may have given the toe to Lord to get him up a few positions.
No,
am I right? Am I right?
Yeah. Because I saw him struggling with no quite laps at all, so I asked him if he wanted to have some slipstream, and he said me yes. So yeah, I just did that on purpose. Yeah, it was good, and obviously it works out because he qualified P8. So yeah, it was a good help. I hope he will remember it.
Maybe for next time. Maybe for Italy.
Yeah.
But
well,
anyway, anyway, well done on your P1. Full 26 points. You can't be sad about that. And thank you for joining the podium interviews.
Thanks, mate.
So now moving on to P2. Someone who always does well around Austria and was actually P1 for a large chunk of the race. Almost like the Antonio Giovinazzi. I believe his first laps led of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe mistaken because I'm absolutely shocking at stats. But Goldie, very good race from you. And must I say, what a quali lap out of nowhere. Only 2.5 tenths off Skyzy, so you must be proud about that. P2 in the race, obviously getting overtaken by Shaw around the outside. That must have been humiliating. But in the end, Shaw did get that round in the final lap. That must he got a penalty. So I'm not sure if you knew that, but P2 in the end, you can't be sad about that after some low points finishes. Mike is absolutely fine, mate.
Yeah. It's Lord.
Oh, Goldie, you idiot. No, 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 no. You have. I don't think you've got your mic on always allow.
Oh no.
Hang on. Goldie, say some words. Oh no. Hang on. Goldie, say some words. No, we can't hear anything. I don't think. Voice on always allow, is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Alright, so you're not going to talk about it again? Aww. I just want to say how stupid you were for causing the crash, and definitely deliberately bring out the safety car so you could get back up into a very good position. But yeah. It was
Nice
the plan
nice
all
shot.
along. It was the plan all along to get yourself into P2. Well done, Goldie. 18 points to your name, but I have a feeling maybe a steward's inquiry may be around the corner for you. Maybe. Maybe, I don't know. But we'll see we'll see if anyone does want to report that or not. But I don't know.
I will.
I don't know. But anyway, Goldie, well done on your P2, mate. Well, podiums. It's something that McLaren aren't seeing that often. So anything must be pretty good for you. So we'll now move on to P3, an Austrian. And the Austrian Grand Prix getting a podium. You must be happy, Black Mamba. Great race from you. Consistency is always key, and I think you proved that today.
Yeah, thanks and congrats to Goldie and Mrs. Kaisi again.
Thanks, mate.
The race was really crazy. A lot happened, and the first hit Goldie on the, I think that was the third corner. Yeah, that was me. I was too far on the brake, and I hope nothing happened. And yeah, I'm sorry for that. So yeah, and I just wanted to bring the car to the finish because my tires were broken. They were finished, and yeah, I'm very happy with the result, with the podium.
Well, yeah, obviously at your home Grand Prix, performing well. I don't think there's anything to be sad about there. Obviously, you probably didn't know about the likes of Short's penalty, so it must have been maybe a bit of a surprise hopping onto that podium tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else you want to add?
Nope.
Nope.
That's it.
Austrians just straight to the point, answering what they need to be asked. Typical Austrian behaviour there. But well done to the top three tonight. A great race all around, and that last lap was absolutely spectacular. Goldie must be feeling absolutely dead inside right now after he's just got overtaken around the outside of turn number 8. So we now move on, and it's the end of the RLH F1 2019 section of the week, as we now go on to GT Sport then. So I want to thank everyone for watching the stream. We had some very good viewership, as I hope you all like and subscribe, and goodbye.